Welcome back. If you're new, welcome in the first place. So you're Gerry Anderson, not literally, but you're Gerry Anderson in the mid 70s, and Space 1999 has been a hit for you, but you don't have a renewal for your second season. What do? Well, you're approached by NBC in the States, and they ask you to come up with something new. Something that's going to be educational to fit in with the season of pilots that they're doing, but something that's also going to be entertaining. Well, Gerry Anderson seems a pretty good choice for that kind of thing. So he comes up with this idea, which is kind of similar to Space 1999. Kind of similar to the ideas and themes, certainly the tone of Space 1999. Only difference is the moon doesn't go AWOL at any point in this. And he collaborates with Johnny Byrne, Doctor Who writer of many things, but he wrote The Keeper of Traken for Doctor Who. He wrote Warriors of the Deep for Doctor Who. They can't all be winners. And between them, they had the square root of nothing in terms of knowledge when it comes to astrophysics. So it's not quite Carl Sagan and Neil deGrasse Tyson. But they do know how to write space adventure and devise space adventure. So they consult with some astrophysicians and come up with this premise and pick up some ideas. What would work in terms of making it entertaining? And come up with a very Gerry Anderson-like idea of two small families, small family units, who go out into space to Alpha Centauri and have to make the decision whether or not to continue on a journey of exploration or return to Earth. So along the way, we're informed via quite clunky voiceover from UFO's Ed Bishop, or Captain Blue from Captain Scarlet, if you want, about various scientific phenomenon and various things that have been imagined and speculated, and theorems and whatnot, the Doppler effect and blah 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 blah. How Einstein's new theory of relativity may have gone, and how Einstein died before. Blah. So it's a bit clunky that Ed Bishop just kind of, what happens next is that our young heroes here didn't know. It's a bit clunky. The narration would have gone, I'm pretty sure, but as a proof of concept, it works okay, right? But then the idea is that the family decide to push on into deep space, but they reach an event horizon, point of no return, barely survive with their lives. So it does have that, action adventure element to it as well. There's a big set piece with having to wear uniforms and go into the reactor core to save the ship. So it's full of these kind of sci-fi action tropes. A full outfit which will be reused later on in Space 1999 Season 2. We'll get there in a second. And they decide, right, we'll crack on, go through the black hole, and we're in a totally different either universe, part of the universe. We'll probably never make it home now, but discovery ahead. So it's an almost British Star Trek premise, Star Trek Voyager, before Star Trek Voyager in a way, where far from home, with no contact, what are they going to do? What are they going to discover? Let's see what's out there, kind of thing. What's out there, we'll never know, because it never went to season. Right? So this is all we get. So the Blu-ray, thank you again to Anderson Entertainment, is out, well, now I guess, with both titles. One was going to be the season title, one was going to be the actual episode title, with some nice new artwork featuring the full cast there. The full cast, pretty much, or the adult cast at least, were in Space 1999. And quite a lot of extras for something like this as well, which are new. So Memories of Infinity, a 40-minute documentary which goes into the conception, which goes into the production, and goes into the reasons it wasn't picked up, which isn't a massive story. The Music After Tomorrow, a 10-minute documentary by Ben Page. That's amazing. Right, it's 10 minutes. The music for this is some of the coolest Gerry Anderson music of the 70s. I like it more than the Space 1999 theme, the UFO. When they're in danger, there's this kind of muse like beat that comes on. Dun, 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 dun. It's brilliant. It's so cool. So Derek Wadsworth, who would compose season 2 of Space 1999, has some brilliant music on this, and an audio commentary with Catherine Levy and Brian Blessed himself. So Brian Blessed, modern day, watching young Brian Blessed, a joy to behold, an absolute privilege. It's worth it for that alone. And then the trailer. The restoration itself, stunning. Absolutely stunning. Like most Andersons, this was done on film, so it looks phenomenal. It looks absolutely great. It's a wonderful restoration. And I had pretty high hopes that it would be, because it's not the first time this has been out. It was on BBC 4 in 2000 and something, introduced by Professor Brian Cox, who saw it as a kid when it was first broadcast as a one-off special in the UK. And he introduced it from an astrophysics point of view. But then it was released by Network, RIP, on this set, The Lost Worlds of Gerry Anderson. And this had Day After Tomorrow, the Dick Spanner pilot, and Space Police, which would go on to become Space Precinct, although this version is quite different and stars Shane Rimmer. So we've already had it. If you're a big Anderson fan, you've probably seen it already. But this is by far superior. By far superior. So if you liked it, and believe me, it's the best thing on this set, if you liked this, blows it out of the water. This is the definitive presentation of a really solid pilot for what could have been a truly great Gerry Anderson show aimed at a younger audience, but which never spoke down to them. The narration is a little bit cloying again from Ed Bishop, but I think if they'd incorporated the scientific ideas in a more organic way going forward, then that wouldn't have been an issue. Now, as we know, Space 1999 did get picked up for season 2, which that put the kibosh on any more of this. So Gerry Anderson returns for this. This falls by the wayside, but pretty much the whole cast of this do get jobs in this, including Brian Blessed, who comes into this as well. So if we'd have got more of Day After Tomorrow, we wouldn't have got more Space 1999. So Catch 22, or Catch 1999, I suppose we could say. So, highly recommended, really. A nice short one today, but highly recommended, especially if you're a Gerry Anderson fan, of course, but more so if you're a Space 1999 fan. I'd say that's tonally the show that it's got most in common with. A lot of the sets would go on to be reused. A lot of the costumes, as I mentioned, the reactor core, that full suit that Alan's wearing in it would go on to be reused in Space 1999. The minute I saw it, I went, well, that's the suit from Space 1999. Right, so the whole thing, right, as with a lot of properties of the era, hey, perfectly reusable, why not use it? So good for them, good for them. So it's almost an alternate what if Gerry Anderson. So it's not a lost Gerry Anderson anymore, certainly, because it's been on DVD, it's been on Bluray, it's been on TV, but it certainly is a what if Gerry Anderson. Here's an alternate reality. So we could have been watching a few seasons of that and wondering, hey, what if Space 1999 got a season 2? We'll never know. Anyway, should you be an Anderson fan? Essential. If you're not an Anderson fan, probably start with Space 1999 and then give this a shot. And if you're a Brian Blessed fan, pick it up. Guarantee that commentary alone, worth it. Oh, look how young I was. Oh, you look wonderful, darling, wonderful. Matt Berry is just Brian Blessed's gimmick completely. When you see the young Brian Blessed in this, it's Matt Berry. Checking the reactor. Yes, I can hear you, Clem Fandango. It's the exact same shtick. Unbelievable. Anyway, I'll see you soon. Any comments, suggestions, queries, complaints, as usual, stick them down below. Although if they're complaints, stick them somewhere else. Till next time.